Good morning from Vientiane, Laos, and very late good evening from Toronto, Canada. Oceans, rivers, or water, where and how it flows through reflects the values of people for whom it is more than a lifeline, but a better way of life for humans and nature coming together. Aquatic environment and its ecosystems ensure the coexistence and survival for humans, animals, and plants. Accordingly, water resource management is the value actions through conservation and responsible use. Also, irrigation is a cross-cutting issue on the livelihood of local communities who live along these river banks. Water regulation is one of important factors to sustain multiple benefits it generates for society. By contrast, the tourism is an industry that depends on water consumption, and therefore water management and its sustainability are critical input for tourism development. Both supplement for the economic growth and create social values through each of their activities. The Mekong River and its trans-boundary river basin are supported by a Mekong River Commission, a regional corporation set up under the endorsement of United Nations, has strived to develop programs and strategies that best serve its mission to provide effective support for sustainable management and development of water and related resources for its member states, China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Talking to us today about this is Mekong River Commission CEO, His Excellency Dr. Pich Hatda. Welcome to our Recovery Town Hall.
Thank you, Sumaira. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for being with us. I know you are a busy man. So let's get started. Mekong River supports about 66 million of people living along the river basin, who too are adversely affected by COVID-19 and its impact on its people, environment, and their livelihoods, part of it led by downturn of tourism. What are the current challenges the Mekong and the other subregions are facing in sustainable environment management for livelihood of these people and due to this pandemic, and how is the organization stepping up its efforts to support the situation?
Yes, thank you. You know, as you know, now the Mekong has been experiencing a rapid development, and the development has brought prosperity and poverty reduction across the board. But at the same time, it also comes with a price. You know, we have witnessed a strong pressure on the Mekong rivers ecosystem. And you know, based on our State of the Basin report produced in 2018, now the river has already experienced a number of challenges, like a permanent alteration of flow regimes, a continuing loss of wetland, a deterioration of riverine habitats, and a reduction in sediment and fish catches. So all these challenges, all these impacts, now we could see that the impact also be felt the most by vulnerable group and community. And if we look at the global trend, the Mekong region is also under threat from, you know, climate change and extreme weather. And according to the IPCC, the Mekong is considered as one of the world's most vulnerable region. And also according to the WMO, since the 1980s, each decade has been warmer than the previous one. So our study, our MRC study has shown that droughts are expected to increase both in terms of severity and frequency over the next 30 or 90 years. and rapid water level fluctuation due to hydropower development and operation, and flash floods due to changing climate are also set to cause challenges in the future. So we are facing a lot of uncertainty at this moment.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. So the 6 Mekong countries are being urged to address regional low water flows as the lower Mekong River Basin (LMB) endures record lows for the second consecutive year, according to your commission report. How is the MRC responding to this current situation, and what are the strategies you are applying currently?
Yeah, I mean, to address the challenges, we are now doing both for the short term and the long term. So now let me share with you in terms of the short term what we are doing now. We monitor and forecast the river flows, including flash flood and drought, on daily basis. And we periodically provide monitoring reports on the river to the public and for government for them to use for warnings. And based on the report, what we know, country can take immediate actions. We provide warning information to them, making recommendation, so they the one have to act. In 2019, our council approved a regional drought management strategy to address what we are facing now and in the future. And we secure funding support from Japan for this drought and flood management implementation. Now we are moving toward enhancing the regional flood and drought management center, which is based in Phnom Penh. And we need to implement drought and flood together at the same time, because we manage with more flood, with more water and less water, so we had to manage it together. Now let's talk about the long-term pursuit. We are moving toward what we call a proactive basin planning, assessing and recommending new joint investment projects through our 10-year basin development strategy and 5-year strategic plan. So what we need to do based on this basin development strategy, we need to assess more storage options to deal with water security and climate risk. And we need to promote basin-wide coordinated operations of existing and new infrastructure projects, such as dam and water storage, to address their impacts on the Mekong mainstream. And of course, member countries need to align their national interests with the regional interest for basin-wide benefit.
Okay. So COVID-19 has also caused stressful data of unemployment and pushed people to extreme poverty. On the other hand, the environment is the factor for sustainable tourism development. Community-based tourism will create jobs, increase income, improve environmental awareness for local people and tourists. It will be a meaningful sector for the local people to recover under employment and improve their livelihood. So I was speaking to somebody earlier, and they mentioned that how the fisheries are going down, and how do you replace that with another source of income? What are the environmental achievements of the Mekong to make sustainable conditions for tourism development when it is reopened and increase the international back and forth tours of Mekong river flow? Do you think there's scope for that?
Yeah, well, I think to address this question, I would like to share with you because we have done a series of green activity. I can give you some example. We had a green campaign, we call Greener Mekongs, as a way to promote a healthy Mekong River, to reduce plastic and raise awareness. And we also have the harmonization of navigation regulation that makes ways for general navigation and tourism down and up the river. This project between Laos and Thailand, Cambodia and Vietnam. We also have navigation master plan that places a strong emphasis on transporting of goods and goods along the Mekong River. And we also work with member countries to develop a strategy, we call it the strategy for basin-wide environment management for prioritized environment asset. And the strategy provides a detailed strategic priority and an action to protect and restore at least 12 prioritized environment assets of regional importance in the Mekong River Basin. So these are the activity that we believe will contribute to the protection, to the improvement of the environment in the Mekong region, and ultimately it will contribute to the promotion of tourism, ecotourism in the future.
Okay. The Mekong River Commission Secretariat has welcomed a statement by China pledging to share year-round hydrological data with the Mekong countries to make effective use of the data for the benefit of all the countries and their people. How important is this kind of data? What it includes and how it is to be shared?
Yeah, I think we congratulate and we will welcome the pledge by China to share year-round data, hydrological year-round data. This is a significant, I think, in the process of data and information sharing. And probably you know it, we receive only wet season data, hydrological data during the wet season, which enable us to do our flood forecasting. But as you know, now the flow regime of the river has been changed. So it's very important to have monitoring because the mandate, the function of this commission is to monitor and to report to the member country. So with additional data and information from China, it will enable us to provide a fuller picture, a proper analysis of the river flow and also the drought and flood condition of the basin, to the member country for their use, for their planning use. So it's very, very important for us in the future.
Which also means that you already have the data from other countries coming in?
Yeah, the 4 member countries we receive to be able to perform flood forecasting, river flood forecasting or river monitoring. We receive our daily data, observed data from our member country, the 4 member country, in order to be able to do forecasting. So 4 member countries, they provided the data, except China, not in dry season, but now they promise to provide. It's a very good, I think, because this region, like I said, it has been experiencing drought intensity and frequency. It becomes more and more, so data is very important for us.
Okay. So coming on to the, let's talk about the natural conditions along the river basin, which encourage for tourism investment and development, leading to local economic growth, for each of the countries. How to encourage the tourism private sector to contribute more to the sub-regional sustainable development in that region? What's your message to investors?
Well, I'm sure there are so many ways that this can be done. So let me give you some example here. First, there is a need to work with the MRC to fund it and create and what we call MRC educational visitor center,
okay,
which will promote the Mekong sustainable development, ecotourism, endangered aquatic species protection, and the broader MRC mission and history of cooperation. I think this is for the general knowledge and understanding of the organization. And second, I think develop a single-based symbol visa concept. I think this is important. And enhance border facility, reduce border checkpoint inspection and processing time and cost. So it's serving the priority to tourism zone, I think. And also enhance promotion of the sub-region as a single destination. We also need to strengthen small and medium-sized enterprise and private sector and institution in the tourism-related industry. Last but not least, we need to broaden the pro-poor tourism development approach by continuing to create an opportunity to bring tourists to villages and towns in higher poverty incident provinces. So in short, we need to work together to push for more greener tourism, friendly for the environment and better serve the poor as well.
That's very encouraging for me to hear that, because I'm from the industry, and to see that, okay, you really are taking the steps in the right direction. And it's all about sustainability and experiential tourism. When you're talking about people being immersed in the communities to experience the communities, that's the new way. That's the new tourism that was supposed to take the world by storm before COVID happened, and hopefully that we press the reset button and start to implement those strategies. So just going back to water security. Water security is essential to sustainable development, yet many factors exacerbate water scarcity and stress across. Are you launching further reports, protocols, or forecasts of monitoring dissemination of the basin to support for feasibility of tourism investment, research, and development? Can you elaborate on this, please?
Tourism used to be a part of the MRC work. I mean, sometime about 15 years ago, but not now. However, the MRC routine monitoring programs and previous initiative can provide supportive document for further tourism investment. Okay, first, I think we have a system we call high-cost hydrological cycle observing system and drought monitoring data. I think this program can provide information on risk of flooding and drought situation. And it also can provide daily and annual monitoring data to support decision-making on suitable tourist attraction along the Mekong River in different periods in a year.
Right.
And second, we have our discharge and sediment and water quality monitoring data. So it provides annual situation of water health along the Mekong River, and it also can address the importance of responsible tourism and ecotourism concept from the tourist private sector. Again, I think we have a strategy for basin by environment management, like I mentioned before. So this strategy provides detailed strategic priority and action to protect and restore the identify and prioritize environment asset by the MRC member country with regional importance in the Mekong River Basin. We are also often approached to provide guidance on water level along the stretches of the lower Mekong Basin for tourism activity like navigation. So this is important function for us that we can offer to the public and which is related with the tourism sector.
And I guess this is the data that would also help you in terms of any emergencies and floods or droughts, for any evacuation services. And I guess it all is interconnected.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, correct. Because we have, like I said, we have a drought, we have flood and drought management center based in Phnom Penh, and they are the one that working with those data and give the warning information to our member country in order to manage flood and drought risk, and also the emergency.
Okay. So my final question to you, Doctor, is every crisis creates an opportunity. What are the opportunities of strategic partnerships to stand for recovering the current situation soon?
Yeah, we always value partnership, cooperation, which in fact is our tradition, the tradition of this organization. Our culture that has been, there since 1957, and when the Mekong Committee was found, which is the predecessor of the current Mekong River Commission. And in our new basin development strategies and strategic plan, we are gearing up toward supporting the recovery from COVID-19 and build the resilience of community for possible similar diseases outbreaks through measures supporting economic recovery, strengthening water security, improving food security, and enhancing regional cooperation and trust. Let's look at as for the economic recovery, where we are supporting investment in various water sector. In terms of water security, we provide river monitoring, forecasting, communication mechanism for community. In terms of food security, the development, we provide the impact monitoring, adaptation, improving fish passage, fishery, and irrigation. And in terms of regional cooperation, we deal with official dialogue mechanism, cooperation with partners and stakeholders, and provide objective technical advice. So in short, all this will help strengthen the resilience of the MRC member country in terms of further achieving their set sustainable development goal, like goal number 1, goal number 2, goal number 6, and goal number 14.
So, in conclusion, it is clear water management of the region is key driver to restart tourism on the right track, and therefore the support and collaboration of organizations such as MRC are critical to its success. Post-pandemic is the right opportunity for economic development based on social and environmental indicators, which you have just highlighted, which in turn may ensure sustainability for humans and nature to come together, strengthen, create social value for a healthy earth. Thank you for this very insightful discussions. I have thoroughly enjoyed my talk with you.
Thank you, Sumaira. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's been our pleasure.